Hey everybody, how's it going? I never imagined when I did this 2-minute video on what looked like a piece of hostile design, which is again pretty much a giant, uncomfortable, spiked thing being put over a grate. This is that if a homeless person tries to sleep there, they are in pain. That video would do better than everything else I've produced on this channel combined, including a CBC News piece video going over the Genius Bar and how they handle repairs, given that I'm a technician and this channel has a lot of repair stuff on it. This 2-minute video on a subway grate pretty much beat out the rest. So there's a few things that I wanted to go over because I think some of the points with that video that I did got missed. A lot of people were saying, well, if you care about the homeless, why don't you have them live with you? And I think it misses the point that I made in that video and also what I included in the link in the description. In New York City, we spend anywhere from $3,500 to $4,500 a month for people to stay at a homeless shelter that is run by a nonprofit that was started by the governor. And that shelter looks like the inside of a prison. It kind of looks like a cat litter box if you haven't cleaned it after 2 weeks. It's disgusting, and it's part of the reason that many people don't use the shelter. Now, even if you're the type of person who thinks the homeless deserve it, fuck them, screw them, you can't fix it, they're junkies, they're lazy, all that stuff, wouldn't you want that $3,500 to $4,500 a month back that's going to a nonprofit that pays its director over $400,000, sometimes $500,000 a year to operate a shelter where they're charging an amount of money to the city, the taxpayer, you, that would equal the cost, if not exceed the cost of a luxury apartment to have people housed in a shithole? Now, another thing I know what you're thinking is, well, I don't live in a blue city. I don't live in New York City. Not my problem that you vote Democrat, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. Let's say that you live in a red state. Well, that nonprofit is actually opening up shelters in areas that are red. They're actually expanding. They may actually be expanding to an area near you, bringing New York City government-style corruption to an area near you. So, I mean, you could laugh at it as, okay, I guess that's not happening in my backyard. That's not my problem. It will be your problem soon. These kind of things become somebody else's problem when nobody talks about them when they are small. And this is what I wanted to bring attention to. There's about a 21-minute video that was in the link in the description of that video that I noticed about 0.1% of the commenters actually watched, and I'm going to include it in this one. It actually goes over in detail the waste, the corruption, the way that the city just literally pisses money away on things that are at best not helping, at worst designed to not help and just fill the pockets of people that don't give a shit about the problem. And there are proposals that are made where you could spend less than half of what we currently spend and get a better outcome. So even if you're somebody that thinks to themselves, I don't give a fuck about the homeless. I don't care if they're on top of a grate. I don't care if they're on top of spikes. I don't care if you toss them in an incinerator. I don't give a shit about it. Wouldn't you want your tax dollars not going to corrupt people that are going to spend the money on directors that get paid $500,000 a year to run places that, again, look like Mr. Clinton's litter box if I didn't clean it for 2 weeks? Like, wouldn't you want that money back so that you could pay less in taxes, so that it could go towards your schools or literally anything else in the community other than a corrupt nonprofit? Because so many people assume that simply because something is labeled a, quote, nonprofit, or just because they have a website that claims that they care about helping the homeless, just because they have a website where they have pretty pictures of somebody helping somebody that they staged, that means that they're not about making money and they're just about helping people, when in reality, the private-public partnerships that the city has with many of these nonprofits are more profitable than, I would say, the jobs of 99% of the people that actually watch this channel. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.